480 BC. The largest army ever assembled marches toward Greece. Their mission? Total annihilation. Standing between them and certain victory, 300 warriors who refused to kneel. This is the story of how they changed everything. Ten years earlier, everything went wrong for Persia. At Marathon in 490 BC, King Darius the Great sent his forces to crush Athens for supporting rebellions in his empire. The outcome shocked the world. Athens won. Decisively, the mighty Persian army retreated across the Aegean Sea in humiliation. Darius swore revenge. But death came first. His son Xerxes inherited more than a throne. He inherited an obsession. Xerxes believed he was divinely chosen to finish what his father started. He wouldn't just punish Greece. He would erase it. For 4 years, he built the most terrifying military force the world had ever seen. Troops poured in from every corner of his empire. Mesopotamia, India, Egypt, Bactria. Herodotus claimed millions. Modern historians estimate between 70,000 and 300,000 soldiers. Over 1,200 warships. Numbers that defy comprehension. To move this army, Xerxes ordered engineering marvels. A canal carved through a peninsula, a mile-long pontoon bridge across the Hellespont Strait, letting his forces walk from Asia into Europe. When storms destroyed the first bridge, Xerxes had the waters whipped 300 times and executed the engineers. That tells you everything about the man coming for Greece. Terror spread through the Greek city-states. Northern communities surrendered immediately. Greece wasn't a nation. It was a collection of rival states that hated each other, but now they faced a choice. Submit or stand together. A fragile alliance formed. And everyone agreed. If anyone could stop Persia, it was Sparta. You can't understand what happened next without understanding Sparta. While Athens built democracy and philosophy, Sparta built something else entirely. Warriors. The finest the world had ever seen. From birth, Spartan males belonged to the state. Newborns were inspected. The weak, left on hillsides to die. At age 7, boys entered the Agoge, a decade of brutal training. They learned to read, but survival and combat were everything. They lived in barracks, deliberately starved, taught to steal food without getting caught. Punishment wasn't for stealing, it was for being discovered. They learned to endure pain without flinching, to obey without question, to value Sparta above their own lives. Courage was everything. Cowardice meant social death, worse than dying in battle. Even Spartan women were warriors in their own way, educated, athletic, free in ways unheard of elsewhere. They raised sons for one purpose: to die well for Sparta. Come back with your shield or on it, they told them. Victory or death, no middle ground. This system forged King Leonidas and his 300 royal guards, men who knew no other way. As Xerxes marched south, the Greek alliance needed a plan. Themistocles, an Athenian strategic genius, proposed something brilliant. Block the Persian army at a narrow mountain pass. Trap their navy in tight waters. Cut off their supply lines. Force them to fight on equal terms. The place they chose? Thermopylae, the Hot Gates. In 480 BC, barely 100 meters wide, mountains on one side, sea on the other. Geography that would turn Persia's greatest advantage, in their numbers, into nothing. Leonidas would command the defense. But there was a problem. The invasion coincided with sacred Greek festivals. The Olympics, Sparta's own Carneia. Religious law forbade military action during Carneia. The Spartan elders reached a compromise. The full army stays, but Leonidas could take his 300-man bodyguard immediately. Elite veterans, hand-picked. And here's the chilling part. Leonidas only chose men who already had sons. He knew they weren't coming back. Before leaving, Leonidas consulted the oracle at Delphi. Her prophecy cut through him. Either Sparta falls, or a Spartan king dies. For Leonidas, there was no choice. He marched north, gathering allies. By the time he reached Thermopylae, his force numbered 7,000 men. Against an empire, they fortified immediately, rebuilt the ancient Phocian wall, positioned troops behind it. Their weapon was the phalanx, hoplites in bronze armor, Corinthian helmets, long spears, and massive shields called hoplons. Shoulder to shoulder, shields overlapping, a wall of bronze and death. In a narrow pass where flanking was impossible, it was nearly unbreakable. Then the Persians arrived. An ocean of men and horses stretching beyond sight. Xerxes set up his throne on a hill to watch. For 4 days, he waited, expecting them to run. He sent an envoy demanding surrender. Leonidas gave him 2 words: Molon, Lob. Come and get them. The Greeks didn't run. They exercised, oiled their bodies, combed their hair. A ritual performed before battles you don't expect to survive. On day 5, Xerxes snapped. Arrows darkened the sky. So many that Herodotus wrote they blotted out the sun. The Spartan warrior Dionysus smiled. Good. We'll fight in the shade. The Greeks raised their shields. The arrows bounced off harmlessly. Frustrated, Xerxes sent 10,000 Medes and Scythians. Capture them. Bring them to me. The wave hit the phalanx and shattered. Persian spears were too short. Wicker shields useless against bronze. Greek spears methodically stabbed forward. Bodies piled up. Men trampled by their own army. The pass choked with the dead. Xerxes watched thousands die, while Greek losses remained minimal. So he sent his best. The Immortals. 10,000 elite warriors. Called Immortals because casualties were instantly replaced. Professional soldiers. Better equipped. Xerxes was certain they'd break through. They didn't. The Greeks added something new during this fight. The feigned retreat. Pretend to break. Run. Lure the Persians into chaotic pursuit. Then suddenly turn. Reform instantly. Slaughter the overextended enemy. Herodotus records Xerxes jumping from his throne 3 times in frustration as his elite troops were butchered. 2 days. 7,000 Greeks holding off over 100,000. Leonidas's plan was working perfectly. Then came betrayal. A local named Ephialtes crept into the Persian camp. He knew the mountains. He knew a secret path, the Annihilation Trail. It went around the pass and emerged behind the Greeks. Xerxes promised him riches. Leonidas knew the path existed. He'd posted 1,000 Phocians to guard it. But under cover of darkness, Xerxes sent General Hydarnes and the Immortals with Ephialtes as their guide. At dawn, the Phocians heard rustling leaves. Too late. A volley of arrows. They retreated upward, thinking they were the target. Fatal mistake. The Persians ignored them and continued toward Leonidas's rear. A messenger raced down with catastrophic news. They were surrounded. The position was lost. Leonidas called a war council. Most commanders argued for immediate retreat. Save the army to fight another day. Leonidas agreed. He dismissed most of the Greek forces. Get out. Live to fight. But not him. Not the 300. For a Spartan king, retreat meant dishonor worse than death. Spartan law bound him. The oracle's prophecy bound him. They would stay. They would be the rear guard. They would buy time for everyone else to escape. 700 Thespians, led by Demophilus, made a choice that's often forgotten. They stayed too, voluntarily, to die with the Spartans. The 400 Thebans mostly surrendered. Some helots remained. Roughly 1,500 men total, against the full Persian army. Knowing death was hours away, Leonidas told his men to eat well. Tonight, We dine in the underworld. When the final assault came, they didn't wait behind walls. They advanced, determined to kill as many as possible. Spears broke. They used swords. Swords shattered. They used hands, teeth, pure, desperate violence. Leonidas fell in the chaos. A vicious fight erupted over his body. Eventually, numbers won. The Greeks were pushed back to a small hill. Their last stand. Surrounded completely, Persian arrows rained down until every last man fell. Thermopylae had fallen. On the surface, Persia won. The path south opened. Athens burned. Xerxes had Leonidas's body decapitated and crucified, barbaric even by ancient standards. But the 3-day delay? Priceless. Weeks later at Salamis, Themistocles lured the Persian navy into narrow straits just like Thermopylae and crushed them. The next year, at Plataea, a unified Greek army, inspired by the 300, destroyed the Persian land forces. The invasion ended, but the real victory wasn't tactical. It was psychological. Thermopylae became legend immediately. It forged Greek unity that had never existed. It became proof that courage could defy empires. That sacrifice meant something. That tyranny could be resisted. After the war, they built a stone lion at Thermopylae for Leonidas. An epitaph by Simonides was carved into stone. Go tell the Spartans, stranger passing by, that here obedient to their laws we lie. For 2,500 years, that story has echoed. Through poetry, literature, the graphic novel, and film, 300. Because Thermopylae proves something timeless. History isn't just written by victors. It's shaped by those who refuse to surrender, even when defeat is certain. It proves small groups of determined people can change the world, and that some defeats are so glorious, they become immortal. The sacrifice at Thermopylae wasn't an ending. It was the spark that saved Western civilization.